Okay, starting with A times B. Now firstly what you got to look at is it defined? So to be defined, we need to look at how many rows and columns, the order of the matrix. So A has an order of 1, 2 rows by 1, 2. So 2 by 2. It's a 2 by 2 matrix. Now B has the order of 1, 2 rows and 1 column. It's a 2 by 1 matrix. In order for the product, the answer of A times B to be defined, the two middle numbers must be the same. And then the final matrix, the order of the final matrix will be the outside numbers, 2 times 1. So the final matrix will be in the format of a column matrix where there's 2 rows and 1 column. Okay, let's go ahead and solve this problem. So we work with this first row and we're multiplying it by this column. Now I like to imagine it being flipped and multiply out. I do this in my head, I don't actually write it like that. So this top number will be 8 times 6 plus 1 times 2. Okay. Now we go ahead and do the bottom column, and I am in my head I flip that up, multiply and then add them together. So you're left with 2 times 6 plus 2 times 2 in the bottom. So that equals 48 plus 2 and 12 plus 4 equals 50 and 16. And that, as you can see, is in the order of 2 times 1 as predicted, and it's your answer. Alright, let's now look at B. So we're looking at B times A. So B is a 2 by 1 and A is a 2 by 2. Now straight away we see that the two inside numbers are not equal and therefore the product is not defined, or the multiplication is not defined. You can't actually do that equation. Okay, let's look at BC now. So B is a 2 by 1 and C is 1, 2, 3 by 2. So in that order, B times C, no, it is not defined because they are not equal on the inner numbers. So not defined. Again, you cannot carry out that sum. Okay, let's look at D. So C times B. So we just worked out that C is a 3 by 2 and we know that B is a 2 by 1. So that is defined because they're equal and you end up with a matrix of 3 by 1. Okay, so defined and order equals 3 by 1. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So starting with the top row, kind of flip it in our head. I like to put these lines in to help focus. So we've got, for the top number, we've got 1 times 6 plus 5 times 2. And then we've got using the second row, multiplying out, you've got the 0 by 6 plus 10 times 2. And then lastly, working with the last row, flipping it around, you've got 3 by 6 plus negative 4 by 2. So 3 times 6, and you can just say minus 4 by 2. Okay, so that equals 6 plus 10, 0 plus 20, 18 minus 8, which equals 16, 20, and 10. Alright, let's look at AA. It's a 2 by 2, 2 by 2. So it's defined because they're equal. And you'll be left with a 2 by 2 matrix. So order equals 2 by 2. Alright, let's go ahead and do that problem. So we've got 8 times 8 and 1 times 2 added together for the top left. So we've got 8 times 8 plus 1 times 2. And then for the top right, we have 8 times 1 plus 1 times 2. So we're multiplying now by this column instead of that first column. So we've got 8 times 1 plus 1 times 2. Now let's work with the bottom row. So we've got 2 times 8 and 2 times 2. So 2 times 8 plus 2 times 2. And then lastly, multiplying out by the second column, we've got 2 times 1 plus 2 times 2. So 2 times 1 plus 2 times 2. So that equals 64 plus 2, 8 plus 2, 16 plus 4, and 2 plus 4, which gives 66, 10, 20, and 6. That's your answer. Okay, now looking at item F, which is B times B, we've got a 2 by 1 and a 2 by 1. So because these are not equal, it's not defined. Can't be done. Now looking at item G, so C times A. C, as we worked at before, was a 3 by 2. A is a 2 by 2. So straight away you see the middle numbers are equal, so it is defined. And it'll be a 3 by 2 matrix. So an order equals 3 by 2. Alright, let's work that out. So working with the first row, we've got 1 times 8 and 5 times 2. So 1 times 8 plus 5 times 2. And then we've got, working with the second column, 1 times 1 plus 5 times 2. So we've got 1 times 1 plus 5 times 2. And then working with the second row, we've got 0 times 8 plus 10 times 2. So 0 times 8 plus 10 times 2. And then we've got 0 times 1 plus 10 times 2, working with that second column. So 0 times 1 plus 10 times 2. And lastly, working with the third row, we've got 3 times 8 minus 4 times 2. So 3 times 8 minus 4 times 2. And then we got 3 times 1 minus 4 times 2. So 3 times 1 minus 4 times 2. So that equals 8 plus 10, 1 plus 10, 0 plus 20, 0 plus 20, 24 minus 8, and 3 minus 8. So the answer, I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to do it above here. The answer is 18, 11, 20, 20, and 16, negative 5. And lastly, let's do item H. So we've got A times C. A is a 2 by 2. C is a 3 by 2. Straight away you see that the two inner ones are not equal, so therefore not defined. Can't be done. And that's the end of the matrix multiplication. That's basically simple familiar. Have a good look at it. If there's any more problems that you want me to have a look at, just make some comments below. Please, again, use this series, subscribe, share, get the word out there that it's available to help you through Year 11 and 12 for general maths. Thank you.